Good now, revolutionaries, and welcome to the Rise Up Morning Show. Today is Monday, September 1st, Labor Day. A happy Labor Day to all of our friends who are celebrating or resting in the United States and celebrating everywhere else by working as usual. Happy Labor Day to you. This is your place for helpful crypto news, commentary, answers to your questions. We've already been answering questions. We've got some news on deck talking about World Liberty Financial. But first, of course, I have to know, how are you guys doing? How was your weekend?
I feel particularly American right now because it is a holiday and we're working.
Yep.
Hey.
Yeah. Look at this go. Woohoo! And at the same time on TikTok, someone at the same time gave us confetti right at that time. Right at that moment. Yeah. Americans, we work forever until we die. Woo! Keep those GDP numbers pumping, baby. Who needs health insurance when you have money? And by money, I mean no money because everything's too expensive. Anyway, woo!
And by health insurance, you mean this mystical thing that we're told exists some places.
I live in Massachusetts. We have the closest thing to universal basic health care. So what up? Yeah.
Every other country in the world is laughing at you.
Yeah, the closest thing is still...
Yeah, but 49 states are super jealous. And a Commonwealth. And a couple territories. They're pretty
I just
upset.
found out how bad. I knew our insurance was bad, but I just, like last week, really realized how bad. How much we're paying for what crappy coverage we have, and I'm just like, God, I love it here.
Well, if you work in corporate America, you get some nice, fancy, spiffy stuff. Because in America, you only get to take care of yourself if you're pumping up those GDP numbers, baby.
Well, I used to have TRICARE. I don't have that anymore.
Ah, I gotcha.
Yeah. So,
you just moved to Massachusetts, cleanest water, number one best tasting water, number one childcare services, number one public schools in America, number one safest major city with Boston.
Tell me more about this water stat, this best tasting water stat, because I actually
the best tasting one I just saw recently, and I was like, that seems subjective, but I'll take it because I live in this state. But
yeah, that feels like how every burger joint says
the number one
burgers.
Cleanest water is true. It's Massachusetts number one, Maine number two. It's because we have incredibly strict and protective watershed laws. It's actually like every state should just copy it, but they don't because other states are silly. Also, Massachusetts, last thing I'll state, number one in GDP per capita. Obviously, California is the biggest GDP and economic producer in the states, but per capita, Massachusetts, do you know what's number two? You'll never guess. Guess what number two?
Per capita?
Per capita, so per person with the biggest GDP output. Give a wild guess.
I don't know. I know Ann Arbor is the most educated per capita.
That's not a state. Okay, keep going.
I don't know. It's a state or a city?
State. Pick a state. Ann Arbor. Oh, man. Oh.
I wanted geography to be in fourth grade, okay?
You are actually the most American out of the three of us. Pick a state. Ann Arbor.
I don't know. Hawaii.
It's Utah. Or sorry, it's Utah.
Okay. Good job, Utah.
Fun fact. Good job, Utah. Go Mormons. Good job, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know much about states.
Yeah.
I do know that Memphis, Tennessee consistently ranks among top cities with the least contaminated drinking water because we sit right on top of some sort of aquifer where we pull our water from.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Good music, good water.
Good music, good water. It could be on the bumper sticker. Per this request.
I'll also be in Nashville for a wedding next year. I'll text you the details.
Text me the details. And someone said, Will has had 7 shots of espresso this morning. Can we get a dolphin sound? So you are obliged. A chorus of dolphins.
A chorus of dolphins.
Okay, if you've got a crypto question, send them our way. A suggestion, a good joke. I actually have some good jokes on deck for later today. But the very first thing we got to do is we got to talk about World Liberty Financial because World Liberty Finance, as per 9 minutes ago, has started to unlock their tokens. And would you look at that candle? This is a CoinGecko. I don't know. Maybe I can get a 1 minute chart. Proxy contract. Oh, this is the 1 month. It's not going to give me 1 minute, is it? Nope.
No.
Well, let's see. This is a proxy contract, so we don't have the official thing. And this is like, there was a lot of pre-market interest. Before you could trade this token, people were buying up all kinds of pre-market contracts. There was something like a, I don't know, 500% surge of derivative volume on perpetuals exchanges. And now that it's live, these are the numbers. 20% of the tokens purchased by early investors in the 5 cent and 1.5 cent rounds will be unlocked today. There is a process called a lock box. I have never heard of a token doing a distribution like this before, but I am sure that there are some who have. Maybe it's the proprietary name that they've given to it. Essentially, they're going to choose wallets from among all wallets who purchased at those stages, and they're going to release them to you. I don't know by what criteria. It said there was going to be an announcement coming soon. I have not seen it yet. At current pre-market prices, if this token's price holds, then it's going to be easily in the top 30, maybe in the top 20. It could be pretty wild, in the billions for sure. The price is around 40 cents across major exchanges, though it has dipped. I'm seeing now.
I mean, it's still going to dip more. You know,
yeah,
just like
and
the way
I
it
think
goes. Your token is released, and it goes, and then it's going to go like that for a while, and then maybe it, starts doing some stuff again. But it always dips.
Yeah, so if you're somebody who is holding World Liberty Financial tokens because you participated in the pre-sale and you found them in the wallet that you registered, then you might want to consider letting them go, especially if you bought them for 1.5 cents and now they're trading at 39 cents. That's probably a good opportunity to realize some big time profits. And everybody else, do what Will says. Wait for the dip.
Yep, there's always a dip. Always.
Especially with that thing, because its sole
Always.
purpose is to make money for some specific people for as long as humanly possible, which means it's going to go up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down.
Yeah, and remember, there's all of the insiders, like the 30 of them or whatever, and they want to get paid. It's the whole reason why these things happen. And it's not just because it's World Liberty Financial with the Trump family. It's because crypto. It's just
that's how it works.
How these things go, ladies.
I just wrote a piece about that, how like that is such an immature tactic, because it's like it's the way that like a kid would design the system, because like anyone, I would hope, with more than 8 brain cells would know that can't last forever, but like might as well abuse the shit out of it while we can. Yeah. But it would be so much more beneficial to build something that would like work for the long term. Like you would make so much more money if you did it that way, but like that's like eating vegetables to not get heart disease later. Like who has time for that? And then like clockwork, it's starting to like come to light, where people are starting to put pieces together. And someone on Twitter yesterday, I saw posted like, man, everything Pudgy Penguins does is just good. Like, what is it about them? And I was just like, they're literally the only thing in crypto that built a brand identity first.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the whole formula. They built an identity, and now people love them and will love whatever they do because they love the brand. Nothing else in crypto has done it.
Mm-hmm. Sorry to talk over you there for a second, but I was getting dinner with a couple friend of ours, myself and my girlfriend, getting dinner, and I just mentioned to him, I was like, hey, my buddy Matt, he loves video games. We play video games together. And so I was like, hey, dude, you might appreciate this. So like this new game came out and I really liked it and was having a good time with it. And then casually I realized I was at the time, number 6 ranked player in the world at it. And I was like, well, might as well become number 1. And then it was the new game made by Pudgy Penguins, PudgyParty. And I was like, wait, I could use this as an opportunity to try to get Luca's attention, the CEO of PudgyParty, and try to get him on the show, all that kind of stuff. Anyway. So I tell him that I'm just like, I accidentally became the number 1 ranked player in the world at it. Then I became number 2, and I'm still ranked number 2.
Get back up.
But anyway, I was talking about that, and he was like, oh yeah, dude, like tell me about this. And I was like, have you ever heard of Pudgy Penguins? And he goes like, no, not really. And I showed him a picture, and he goes like, oh yeah, the GIFs. And I was like, yes, exactly. Mm-hmm. Someone who didn't know anything about it, he knew about the GIFs. And so like, he asked me like, okay, like how did Pudgy Penguins do it? And this was the first time I ever said this out loud before. And I was like, yeah, no, it makes sense. I was like, well, they were an NFT project and they were like one of like the top kind of like 5 most talked about, top 10 most talked about in like 2020, made a bunch of money. And then they were the only project that said, hey, let's actually build a brand first.
Well,
and the next thing that they did was, oh, are you about to correct me?
Yes.
Okay.
Quite. So just for the record, they were a rug. Like the
they
original
rugged first.
Pudgy Penguins was a rug.
Okay.
It was a straight scam. But Luca, who was like a heavy participant and had been kind of, doing the thing that a lot of us were doing at that point, which was just like grinding discords and being a socialite and whatever, offered to buy it from Cole, the original like founder, the guy who was actively slow rugging the whole thing. And that's a pretty famous tweet. He was just like 750 ETH for Pudgy, take it or leave it, Cole. And the rest is history because obviously Luca took it. And then Luca turned it all around and he built the brand and did the thing and do it. But originally it was a TikTok shill. There were some relatively well-known TikTok influencers who did a whole lot of shilling and took some money and lied and scammed a bunch of people, unknowingly perhaps, because this is my opinion or whatever. And, a ton of people lost a ton of money. That thing cratered. I vividly remember looking at those when they were like 0.1 ETH thinking like, what a pile of crap. And now look at them.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway.
Appreciate that history lesson. So then Luca took it over and I was like, I first started telling the story. I was like, yeah. And then they got a Walmart brand deal. And I was like, no, wait a second. I stopped myself there. I was like, no, that wasn't the first thing because Walmart wouldn't have just taken that deal. They built a brand identity and like a valuable enough IP for Walmart to say yes to that deal first by creating GIFs and memes and building a large social media following. I think on Instagram, they have 2 million followers. On TikTok, they have like 3 million followers or something, or like 1.5 million. It's a lot. Mm-hmm. And then their GIFs are used a lot in the GIF keyboard. They're used a lot on Twitter. So they had like all these high engagement numbers, went to Walmart and said, hey, we have this cute IP. It's highly engaged with. People will recognize it as a brand. Cute toys. We'd like to sell it. And then Walmart signed them a deal. I remember that was like the first thing that happened in like the pits of the NFT bear market. We were like, oh, wait, people are still doing stuff. And like, oh, Doodles was doing some stuff at the same time. And then, they started selling products through Walmart and a few other retailers, I believe. And then, just kept building from there. So, it was cool. I forget how we first got into this topic, but
we had a weird segue from World Liberty Finance and
that's right.
family to like legitimate brands in crypto. And I would bring it back by saying, I actually think World Liberty Finance is the most legitimate part of Trump media and the Trump family's crypto exposure. I think it's a sleeper DeFi play. And do you know who agrees with me? Is your boy and soon to be best friend, Luca Netz. Don't count out World Liberty Finance. There's USD1 has some adoption and they have influence.
That's the most important thing.
Manufactured it is. They have significant influence and I think really could be like a front door to the internet for a certain significant group of people, maybe to get into DeFi for the very first time.
Yeah, I agree.
Can we at least do my sand? Because every time we say World Liberty Finance and DeFi in the same sentence, I lose a year of my life. Can we at least stop pretending that it's decentralized?
I mean, what is decentralized, Alex? Can you what protocol would you hold up and say is a better paragon of true decentralization on this spectrum?
Good question and fair, because I think that pretty much everything has significant issues with it. I, however, would just say that the ones that I think have the biggest issue with it are the ones that, and honestly, this is kind of funny because Cardano is one of these, wherein they are like on paper, hyper decentralized. It's a bumper sticker for them, has been for a long time, but because of Charles, that's the same. It's the same thing with World Liberty Finance. Everything in there, first of all, is just a clone fork of something else that was mediocre to begin with. And that whole thing is completely dependent on the brand identity of the people running it and their purported influence. So that's my issue. Not that we're going to get into some sort of discussion about the validity of decentralization across different specific tech setups, but the fact that if you have one person or a small group of people who can, in the palm of their hand, completely manipulate and control just based on what mood they're in for the day, that whole thing, that to me is like the most centralized. And it's why I would honestly say that if you could sit here and tell me that Bitcoin is the most decentralized, and I would say, yeah, on paper, tech-wise. However, in real life, we all know that if Michael Saylor came out tomorrow and say, guys, I messed up, this is actually terrible, look at this flaw that I just found, even if he makes it up, or if he starts selling a shitload of it, like Bitcoin will go through a very dark period because of that, because of his influence on it based on his size now. So I think that, unfortunately, based on the nature of us as humans and the culture of people who start these things and do not, stay anonymous, or do not, do not stay out of the public eye, or do not build a personal brand for themselves tied up in the identity of the project, all these kinds of things. Like Ethereum is an interesting example too, because I think that Vitalik doesn't carry the same kind of influence over Ethereum as
Michael
Saylor does for Bitcoin. Honestly,
no, Tom Lee is becoming the
he's becoming.
Yeah,
he now owns. Fun fact, quick aside: Tom Lee of BitMine now owns more ETH in an ETH digital asset treasury than Michael Saylor owns of Bitcoin. Meaning, like of the total
percentage, the
ratio.
Oh, it's that much.
It's that much. I want to say it's getting close to 2%. So, as you were though, I didn't mean to derail you. Just to say, it's a good point, because I think that is the kind of stuff that needs to be talked about. Like I don't like it when we just bandy about the term decentralization without consideration of the fact that we're talking about a whole lot more than just how many nodes there are, or how much control or power each validator has, or what the weight distribution on nodes is, or what kinds of safety measures are baked into the tech to prevent takeovers in this manner or that manner or whatever, but also just the fact that somebody who has built an entire brand identity and reputation on the back of whatever that particular identity is, if they decide to change tune or something happens with them or whatever. I mean, look at how Toncoin suffered when the CEO of Telegram got in hot water, even though that dude's not doing a whole lot for the Ton network, or wasn't, or is not like completely integral to its function and success. It's not like it would shut down if he went to prison or something, but optics and just the way that we kind of feel about these things, and what makes people nervous and all that sort of stuff. So World Liberty Finance is a family-owned business wherein they buy cryptocurrency from projects that make deals with them and put them in a treasury so that they can mutually benefit each other, because everyone else will speculate on the future success of things that work together when the people who control them have as much money and power and influence as they do. It is quite literally just an extraction. There's nothing, it's not a DeFi protocol. So I would never sit here and say that it's not going to be successful, or it's not going to do a bunch of volume, or it's not going to, trade. They're going to buy this and buy that and trade this and do this and probably build this and hire this person to do that and do whatever, and, do all the stuff and trade stuff here, stake stuff here, yield farm here, or do whatever. Like, by all accounts, it's probably going to be successful, but there's nothing decentralized about it. It is just a game. It's a make money scheme. It's going to be probably his most successful business venture ever, which may not be saying a ton, but it is what it is. What do you think, Will?
I got a little distracted on those last few sentences there because I found a story that I wanted to bring up and share at some point. So, not the greatest bridge. I am sorry. However,
it's okay. You agree with me.
I might agree with Alex. Undoubtedly, I most likely agree with Alex.
Are you taking this in a total different direction? If so,
no,
can
I'm
I
not...
Okay, take it then. I'll read it.
Evan, you bridge. Save me here. Save me from.
Well, I want to bridge to talk about this question of centralization in DeFi more. And we had a question earlier about the white whale.
Yeah. Well,
take it.
Here's the thing. So it doesn't matter if you are a trader or investor. In my opinion, that doesn't matter, right? It's all what you feel comfortable with and want to support and don't want to support, and if you are a digital nomad, and or you have to you're on the run, from for you have to leave the country, like you really need to be decentralized, then it matters. Then it really, really matters, right? To be on something truly decentralized so that you can get access to financial markets. It really does matter. But if you're if you never plan on giving up your citizenship in your country, if you are not being targeted by the power that be in the government, if there's not a military coming after you, right? If you are in a position where you really have to be without borders, then a truly decentralized solution isn't a necessity for you. It's something that you use because you like it and you support it and you like that vision, right? So those are the groups of people that are really going to care about this. Otherwise, it doesn't really matter for the majority. I would say it shouldn't have to matter for the majority of people, is what I would say. But you can absolutely support it, kind of like what the white whale has done. And we can talk about that in a second. But what I would say is, if you find an organization that is becoming more centralized, as someone who wants to speculate on a lot of news and hype potential and a lot of big money flowing to them and stuff, they definitely have a far more likely chance of that happening, because through that centralization, they have relationships, they have current business partnerships, they have vested interests in making sure there are pumpamentals and things. So something like a World Liberty Financial probably going to have more opportunities. Something that's more centralized is going to have more integrations with traditional institutional money flow as well. So understand that, right?
Could be more traditional protections too, because it's more likely to qualify for insurance programs and stuff like that.
Also that.
I actually would push back. I agree with those things, like the last part of it, but I would push back on like the it doesn't matter until it matters thing. I think it matters a lot more than we give it credit for. And this is where I would this is a perfect segue to our friend, the white whale, if you don't know, is currently in a KYC battle with MEXC, which has about $2 million of his money that he he upped a bet that he made to 3, but they have 2 million of his funds. He hasn't put another dollar there. It's money that he can trace, can verify, has offered to complete advanced KYC for them several times, and they have essentially locked his ability to cash out this money that he owns because it's in their central wallet. They have control of it. And you might say, I'm not a whale, so how does this affect me? It affects you because if you are using a centralized exchange, this is a real-time drama that proves this point, that if it's in their possession, they can make it really hard for you to get it back. There's not a lawyer that can help you. Their terms and conditions give them a lot of unilateral power, and that's not uncommon. And the thing that is troubling is the white whale is a law-abiding citizen who rightfully earned that money, and MEXC is able to hold it from them. And if a $2 million guy, whose net worth is in the hundreds of millions, can't get his money back, makes a big stink on Twitter and generates hundreds of thousands, millions of impressions about it, can't get his money back, what are you going to do, bub? You know what I mean? Like you're really screwed. And the fact that they can do that, I think, underscores a need. I agree with you completely. If you want to make money, you got to trade where the volume is. And the volume is usually on Coinbase or Binance or whatever. And they have the relationships, they got the deals, but they got the keys. And anytime they want to, for any reason at all, they can say, sorry, pal.
Yeah, that's true. And I'll add just one more example, which was, it's the one that's used all the time. So the Canadian truckers from like 3 or 4 years ago, whatever it was, who were protesting, and the government just said, cool, your bank accounts are frozen. Get back on the streets. It's like, decentralization matters there too. And then also, like, I'm not a whale, so I don't think about whale problems. But, if you are a whale and you're going up against market makers, then yeah, you're going to run into some issues like what the white whales run into.
The thing though, that I'm not positive, but my speculation would be that the reason he's having any issues is nothing to do specifically with the fact just alone that he has a ton of money, but the fact that he's consistently winning trades, and that costs them a lot of money. I mean, because at the end of the day, you can't expect them to be cool with this. It's a bank. They're just a bank. Mm-hmm. I mean, and MEXC, I don't like MEXC. And that's not a secret.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. You don't like a super sketchy crypto exchange that
I don't
does
like
a
them
whole
because
bunch of shadowy shit?
Well, they bankrupted one of my favorite projects that I've ever started to work on and build, and just
right.
They were going to make me cross the Rubicon, and I really didn't want to do it, and so here we are. And that was exclusively because they were greedy. It was only a greed problem. They had nothing, and they were a short-sighted, like immature toddler about it. So in that sense, this completely tracks with them. I mean, the fact that they immediately tried to like lure him to Malaysia to like KYC in person. He's just like, "Are you kidding me?"
Huh? What?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Vegas, right? As an institution, and what kind of carpets they roll out for really high roller clients and guests, right? To come and show you get all this free stuff and all this whatever, because they know how much you're going to lose on the floor. Exchanges would do the same thing for ultra high net worth individuals if they were also consistently losing some trades. And like maybe you win some and you lose some and you pay the exchange and it balances out and whatever, because the volume doesn't matter. They do shitloads of volume, more than he's going to be doing by himself. The fact that it's that unbalanced, wherein he is winning more than he is losing in a significant dollar figure, is a problem for them. Which is why, if I can kind of lightly change the subject over to the Maple Finance thing that he had posted about, that's kind of that whole bit, and Bearded was asking about it on YouTube as well. So the question here is brought up again by the White Whale posting that he's leaving Maple Finance because of a partnership with TMR, which is an analytics firm. And the claim here is that, well, actually, it's not a claim. It's kind of by their own admission. They're moving towards like a global permissioned system, which is a compliance thing. And it's a privacy concern for people, or could be if you were concerned about it. Now, I would push back a little bit against that concern to say that it's already very strict KYC, and so that's not new. It's just like a different firm also running the analytics and having claim. And the White Whale's concern specifically is that the reasons that firms like TMR or others can flag a wallet and get a wallet blacklisted from participating or interacting with certain protocols is very murky. It's not well understood.
Yeah.
It's very hard to come off of that list, if not impossible, once you have been flagged. And if that's the case, then funds lost, tied up in those accounts can be lost, and there's not really a whole lot you can do about it. And one of the reasons that an exchange or a platform could push a firm like TMR to blacklist a wallet is exactly what he's running into with MEXC, which is, hey, this dude's making way too much money from us. We are losing money because of this person. You need to get them the fuck out of here. And in that case, problem. So the solution is probably to split up all of this into like a bunch of different like fragmented accounts and fractionalize your weight. But then immediately I would say that shouldn't be the case. If someone is just like really good at this, then there's probably enough people losing money at this consistently to make up for it. And again, it's a greed problem. Mm-hmm. But just for anyone wondering, that's the whole
yeah. Also, if you win enough if you win enough at the casinos in Vegas too, they refuse you entry.
100%.
You break your knees.
Yeah, they do.
100%. Assume you're cheating, get you out of there.
Yeah, they kick you out.
Also, quick correction for the people playing along at homes. Alex, tell me if I'm wrong in this, but I think you were talking about TRM Labs.
Sorry.
The on-chain analytics platform, yeah?
Yeah, I said TMR, I meant TRM.
Okay, I knew what you meant. I just wanted to help people in podcast land in case they were doing a Google search like, what the hell is this?
Sorry, thank you for the correction.
That also totally makes sense for that reaction from the White Whale too, because the White Whale's going through this with MEXC. So he's just like, you're more centralization? Get me the fuck out of this. Like, I want the most decentralized and liquid market. He's probably just like, just get me to Hyperliquid. Take everything to Hyperliquid.
Honestly, yeah.
Even Hyperliquid is quite. There are lots of legitimate concerns about how centralized they are. He is going through his DeFi disillusionment phase. He's like a teenager who's realizing that life is not so great and everybody's not so free, and we need that. We need truly decentralized, permissionless places to be, and
and that's not to be condescending because we did the whole thing ourselves too. I vividly remember thinking like how important true decentralization was, and then getting to the point where I realized like, oh, it's a meme and it's a spectrum, and everyone is maybe partially on it, but no one is like at, full decentralized. There's really, that would be an interesting thought experiment, Evan, to sit there and try to come up like place things on a spectrum and try to like determine, like who might be the most decentralized, this, that, or the other. Because I would imagine that it would probably piss a lot of people off to do that ranking system.
It'd be pretty fun though.
Fun. I think it's only fun for real nerds like us. I would enjoy it.
Who am I talking to?
Who am I talking to? And then we could post it on Twitter, and people on Twitter would be like,
get very upset. People on Twitter love a tiered ranking list.
They love a tiered ranking list. And then they'd be like, they'd still comment, oh, what shit quality coming from TikTok? I'd be like, what? This is what you want.
Yeah.
Right.
Is this not what you asked for? Is this not what you are here?
Will, you said a minute ago that you had a good segue for us, and I'm sorry I segued away from your segue. So
this whole whale conversation is actually an even better segue for my segue to this segue from our original conversation. So cue the segue, share screen. As reported by Coin Bureau here over on the Twitter, last week there was a really, really big whale that had sold a crap ton of Bitcoin. It was about $1 billion worth of Bitcoin. It started like that big red candle that we had. And they sold another 2,000 Bitcoin. So the amount of Bitcoin they had sold before was over 22,000 Bitcoin and had put it into Ethereum. They sold another 2,000 Bitcoin to buy another cool and collected 48,942 Ethereum. So from their 100,784 Bitcoin, they have now sold 41,705 Bitcoin for it, to acquire $4 billion worth of Ethereum.
Wow.
886,371 Ethereum. So this whale is just taking their Bitcoin and just swapping it into Ethereum. And it's a 40-60 split now is their portfolio of Bitcoin to Ethereum. So that doesn't tell you something. And yet people say the crypto has topped. I'm going to stop sharing, Evan. And I made a post on TikTok a few days ago of explaining why I don't think we're at a top yet, because I used to see some people being like, top's in, man. And I'm like, I mean, maybe. But I was like, I don't think so. Stock market's making new highs. The Russell 2000 is showing a lot of strength. For those of you who don't know what the Russell 2000 is, basically it's the altcoin market for stocks. If the S&P 500 is your Bitcoin, the Russell 2000 is your altcoin market. It's much smaller stocks, right? Gold, if that's the most similar asset to Bitcoin, doing phenomenally. I think it was up like 3% on Sunday. It was something silly, something silly for gold. Bitcoin's going up. Also, if you look at Bitcoin dominance, altcoin charts look super strong on the Bitcoin dominance chart too. And so you're telling me all these things and it's just Bitcoin that the party's over? Like it's just Bitcoin's top is in? Like it doesn't make sense to me in that way, and it doesn't make any goddamn sense. And you see all this buying for Ethereum still going on. So it's like, no, there's just something else happening here. And I think it's just the market making sure that they get their liquidation levels, as I've been talking about every single day now for like 2 months. But that's that. So yeah, it just seems super weird to me that the top's in for Bitcoin, but not for all of these other major markets.
That's kind of how it happened last time. I was not in touch. I was not watching the Russell. I was not watching some of the other metrics, but the top was in for Bitcoin and the top was in for ETH 2 days later. And then it didn't seem like the party was over, but 6 months back, we started to look and say, oh, this might have been the end of the party.
But we're not even overbought on like traditional indicators either. Yeah. Like the RSI, it's not overbought on the monthly time frame for Bitcoin and Ethereum. And so it's like this other stuff. And it's like, I mean, every time is different, so hey, maybe this is the top.
And if you want to know more about it, then Market Watch is the show to watch. I'm talking about the Rise Up Market Watch with Will and Doug, aka Vaughn, at 7 p.m. Central Monday nights. And this week, I just wanted to shout it out. We're having our friend Danielle, who's a star over on Instagram. All our friends over there, you love her takes on crypto, and she will be joining the show to give her take on all things macro, talk about her approach to content creation and helpful educational content. Will, by way of getting us to Market Watch tonight, can you give us a little more of a tidbit tied over? We had a friend on Instagram, Josh, ask us, what key factors are you watching for whether or not the market will be up or down this week? We're talking about, is the party over? But like right now, today, Monday, man, like, what are you looking at?
I'm really just looking at the Bitcoin liquidity levels. It's two things. Liquidation over on Binance. If you go to CoinGlass and go to the Bitcoin liquidity heat map, we've pulled it up a million times. I can pull it up again now.
Go for it. I will assist you with the screen share.
Yeah, it'll show you where the market makes the most amount of money. So market makers, who are the people who market makers and centralized exchanges, they make money off of fees whenever you trade, right? But they make the most amount of money when perpetual markets, leveraged markets, margin markets, it's all the different words for the same thing, when positions get liquidated. And so they are incentivized to try to make sure the market goes to the points where they get the most amount of liquidations to get the biggest payday. And it's a huge reason as to why the market does what it does and what direction it goes in. And so looking at the screen here, this is when you're looking at this, you have a whole bunch of different time frames, by the way. The longer the time frame, the more impactful. Currently, I typically look at the 1 month time frame, but I always zoom out to get a bit better picture. And the 3 month time frame shows a very clear picture right now, which is the market. Bitcoin is sitting at 109,000 right now. But if the market goes down to $106,808, centralized exchanges make roughly, let's see, roughly like $700 million. And that's just Binance, by the way. There's so many other exchanges that have liquidation levels around these same points too. So just Binance makes almost $1 billion. Okay.
Wow.
It's a pretty big incentive to make sure the market dips that much. And even if we dip all the way down to about 104,000, 105,000, I mean, it's well over $2 billion. And that could happen in a flash crash. That could happen in a day for Binance, right? And so the biggest payday is lower down. So I'm looking at this and say, yeah, I generally expect some lower down price action, right? And then we have some juicy targets that are percolating higher above. Like if we go back up to $120,000, that's an immediate $300 million payday for Binance. If we come up to 117,000, that's a $200 million payday for Binance. If we go up to 122,000, $200 million. 125,000, another $200 million, right? So I'm looking at that. And then when I take a look at the Bitcoin chart, this orange line right here is the 200-day exponential moving average. And this purple line happens to be that major liquidation zone all the way down to $105,000 that I mentioned makes Binance over $2 billion. And when you break your major key exponentials above, you typically fall to the next one. The next one is right here, sitting right at that liquidation zone. So like from a TA standpoint, from an on-chain liquidation level standpoint, like a little bit lower just makes sense to me. Just makes sense to me before the market could be allowed to, pop on upwards. So that's what I'm looking at.
I was going to join the price speculation thing just a tiny bit to ask you a couple questions about this, Will, because one thing that I noticed was that specifically Solana, because that's basically the only thing that I really look at for the purpose of my swing trades. And I was really hoping, like, as everything slid, that I was going to get a better opportunity to re-enter at a lower. Yeah. But I really didn't. And even
really didn't. Neither did I. Yeah, no.
Today I got a little bit at 198. Just because I figured, based on how it's going, we'll probably get the opportunity to sell it at 210 again relatively soon. But I was curious about, what you thought about how that one is holding up against all this, because it's kind of interesting to me that we spent so much time in like the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, ran to, 215. And now, even amidst all of the sliding, have pretty much just been sitting above 200 the entire time.
Yeah, I mean, to me, you have people who front run Ethereum's ETF hype, and they've really they've started to take some little bits of profits because they're expecting more, and they're percolating into Solana. and expecting a Solana ETF with staking. That or people who are thinking similarly to me are doing the same thing. Evan, I was going to pull up the Solana chart on mine if you don't mind, just to
take it away.
Provide a
I
little
guess that's
bit
a good point because there are several deadlines coming up in the month of September. I believe someone fact check me on that because I might be remembering the month wrong, but that have Solana ETF like filings and deadlines.
Pick yourself, brother.
Including Marinade, actually, in conjunction with Canary. That's one of them.
Evan, I'm sharing my screen. I'm not quite sure why you're not seeing it.
Because I'm on a different tab.
Okay, gotcha. So this is Solana. So if we just zoom out a little bit here, you can see that Solana is in this channel. And I don't have any of my indicators up for a reason, because what you see here is like pretty typical, right, of a bullish breakout. You have this section here is the establishment of the channel. And then you have a higher low found higher up above from the bottom support line of your channel. That's your first initial good sign that, hey, there's some momentum here, maybe building to the bull side more so than the bear side to have a bullish breakout. We came up, we tested again for a fourth time, found support on a key exponential moving average, tested again, found support on a higher up exponential moving average. You see the blue line, then the yellow line. Tested, and now we're trying to find support again in the exponential moving averages to try to finally get like a rebound upwards, find support, and then, you know, have a blast off. Like that's what we're trying to do right now, which is cool, but at the same time, a little frustrating if you're like people like myself and Alex who are really like buying Solana and swing trading it, right? To then have a breakout here. And then if I pull up my indicators, what I want to direct your attentions towards is actually the Moxie indicator. So let me just make this very, very obvious that we want to just look at this one. Oh, that's as high as it's going to be. Yeah, it's this guy. Except I want to show it to you on a longer term time frame. So I'm going to show it to you on the weekly. So on the weekly time frame, you can see that the Moxie indicator, this line here, is getting close to flipping the zero, which is this white line right here. When it flips it, when it's below it, there's more bearish momentum than bullish momentum. When it gets above it, you officially have bullish momentum that is absolutely in control. So we have, this is just the bullish momentum or the bearish momentum weakening to the bulls. If we can break this, you're probably going to get a long signal here, and you'll have a long signal switching on for Solana on a macro time frame. Last time that happened, right here, long signals.
Oh, damn.
You know? And that was a pretty damn good time for our boy Solana, which is one of the biggest reasons why I got like a fat bag of stable coins that I'm just like, Solana, Solana.
And for context too, just in case anyone's curious, right now as it stands, I do have like a USDC versus Sol position, and it is almost exactly 50-50 right at this exact moment.
Yeah,
which is interesting, like that, because I'm truly just like, I don't know, dude. I don't know if it's gonna go. Am I gonna see 160 again, or is it gonna go to 240?
I sold out like a fool at that 211.
Oh,
I got completely out, and I was like, dude, we're gonna dip. We're gonna dip. It's gonna be great. And then I missed the dip. It's not that I was wrong. It's that I overestimated my own ability to pay attention and be at my desk and have the time.
Yeah, that's the biggest problem.
Which is why. Don't sell 100% of the things that you do have long-term conviction in.
That's exactly right. Learn from my mistakes so you can be more profitable than me.
The only reason I would ever sell 100% of anything is if I was like abandoning my desire to have the thing at all. I just didn't really have conviction in it anymore.
I think it's a good strategy. However, I do oftentimes, probably about half the time, sell everything in one position.
Me too.
I just go. That's good, because the thing is there's always another play. There's always another play, especially in crypto. There's always another coin with another setup, and it's a juicy target.
Is it about management for you, Will? Because that's why I do that. I do that too. I agree with that rule, but I do that too because I don't want to be the guy. I have been the guy too many times that all of a sudden I've got, you know, a position whittled down, and now it's a 10% size that it was, but now I have another position, and pretty soon I have 10 positions, and I'm like, oh my god, I have $100 in this.
And
I'm like, where do I? You know,
I only have 5 positions right now, and if I have to go to my second hand, I don't do it. I don't, dude.
I like
5
that.
is the maximum now. And this is coming from someone in 2017 where I think I had like a portfolio of like 35 or 40 cryptos, like I feel like we almost all do that. You probably have that also. There's a few of you. There's more than a few of you. I know there is. It's too much. You're not doing a good job managing that. I know you're not, because no one can, right? So let's just make it easier to manage.
That's exactly why I am like not selling out 100% of that one, because even though I completely agree there is another opportunity, I am so, dude, it's funny. I've never worked more in the space than we do right now. And I've also never been less informed about what's going on with the market as I am right now. Like I know the things that I have, and that's about it.
I saw 2 people make a comment in TikTok like, I have over 100. I'm like, what? You
over 100 is wild.
My brother in Christ.
My brother in Christ.
What?
I also saw people like, I feel Like, why are you pointing at me?
Yeah, Mike said, I feel personally attacked.
You should feel personally attacked.
It is.
Huh? Me? I fear that you got a lot of people in your sights on that one.
Why am I crying now?
Oh, dude, I also have to say, I told you guys about the honeypot that I got airdropped, right?
Yeah, we did it live on the stream.
Yeah. Dude, it's bothering me so much now that it exists, because do you know how much it's up to? So when I was originally given to me, it was like $100 worth of this. And for the record, there's no liquidity. There is no hope to sell it. Even if I had the permission to sell it, there is no liquidity to sell it into. Do you know what the dollar value of this piece of shit is at right now?
$1 trillion.
No, it's not. It's not. It's gone from 100 to 40,000 in the last week.
Tight.
And it's just sitting there at 40 grand. So right now my Coinbase smart wallet just like looks like it has 40 grand of fake Yeezy. And I'm like, this is so annoying. It's making it so much harder to track like how the wallet's doing, or what this is at, or all that kind of stuff. And it's very annoying because I can't get rid of it. I can't do anything with it. It's just there. And there's no hide option. Like I can't. What
are you holding it in? A Phantom wallet?
The Coinbase smart wallet.
Oh, the smart wallet. They don't have a.
Not that I can find, at least not on the desktop version.
Smart wallet?
Yeah.
The deprecated smart, the soon to be deprecated.
No, the whatever, the thing, the Coinbase wallet, whatever the fuck it's called, dude. I cannot keep the names of Coinbase's products straight. It's the wallet that Coinbase has.
The Coinbase wallet is just what I call it, and then except now it's called the
app.
Isn't it the smart wallet?
I was like, the app?
It is a smart wallet, but it's the base app.
It was the smart wallet, and then somehow my wallet never got smart, and then I was just the Coinbase wallet, and now it's the base app. And now it's like, okay, so now it's the base app, right? And then I went to my Coinbase wallet, and I was like, oh, it's the base app. Its branding has changed. This is going to be a totally different experience. Then I opened it up, and I was like, oh, it's just the Coinbase wallet.
Yeah, so I had that.
And then I went to go make a swap, and I was like, nah, still kind of broken.
Yeah, it's
still kind of broken.
I will absolutely die on this.
Okay, so I'm seeing Exavella says there is a hide option. I just couldn't find it.
Yeah.
From the super intuitive UI, I guess I just missed it.
No, but thanks for reminding me. I have a bunch of stable coins sprinkled all throughout a whole bunch of hot wallets, and I was doing the math on it. I'm like, this is several $1,000s. I should probably go about and just like start pulling all that back in.
Will, if you're having a hard time keeping track of those stable coins, you can just send them my way. I'll take real good care of them for you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there's something for that.
It's I love you, dude.
It's called a bank.
No.
No. This is a friend helping a friend.
I'm providing this service to you. That's what this is.
I even have like a shit ton of things there because I was practicing. I just wanted to experience like staking on a whole bunch of stuff. So there's like 8 different projects I've started like staking just like $100 on. And I was like, wait, I've done that like there's like $800 just like sitting out there. Then I have like, oh, there's $1,000 over there. I was like, there's $2,000 over there. And I was like, I'm gonna probably like get that shit back.
Should probably like send this to Alex.
Should probably send it. I have over $1,000 just sitting over on Courtyard from the time I bought that legendary Pokemon card. I have. Let's see. I have like $1,400 or $1,700 there. I have I think $7,000 over at Katana.
This is
I
all
have
just pointing at
$800 spread across all these different staking. I think I have more actually. It's over on it. Yeah,
Do you guys?
Let me
I'll send you my
use
wallet
my
address.
ladybug pen real quick to just write down the do item right now.
Cute. Are you like a teacher at an elementary school or something?
No, but I can see Will in like a full suit in a business meeting with like the CMOs from Pepsi, and he's just like doodling with his ladybug pen.
This was a stocking stuffer from my mom from like 3 Christmases ago, and now I'm just like, I should really finally fucking just use up. I've been trying to use up the ink on this for forever, but as you can see, it's a thick boy. So much ink.
It's
Is it actually a good pen?
It's actually a pretty good pen.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, see?
Hey, do you guys or does anybody in our listening audience, yes, you, do bank arbitrage? Because I have a among other lists in my life, one of the lists that I need to take action on is I want to do some of the bank arbitrage deals to get, $300 here, $400 here. And now that we have like a strong business bank account set up, I was thinking I would open a couple of personal accounts so that I could, many of these banks, if you don't know this, will give you money to open an account. And often they say you have to maintain a minimum balance or do direct deposit payments or a number of expenditures from the account. It's a couple boxes to check before they give you this money, usually over like 30 to 90 days. But if you can do that, it's a low hanging like $300 to $400, depending on the bank. You could probably make $1,500 a year, basically doing the same thing you're already doing, just, moving it with a little more intention. Does anybody out there do that? And have you guys done that? I have a short list, and I was kind of thinking we'd, give ourselves an extra $1,500 by opening some bank accounts. But now what I'm thinking is we just become Will's subsidiary banks instead.
Yeah.
Forget about the money he dropped, and I could make.
And then I'll just forget about it, and then a number of months. And in fact, a couple of those are a number of years. And I'll be like, hi, Evan, I'm finally here. And you'll be like, oh shit, it's a run on the bank. Shit,
that's when
the jig is up.
That's when I'll come in with the fine print that Will did not read when he signed up to Alex and Evan's subsidiary.
Bank. Yeah. And then I'll be like, okay, I'll just forget about this again for a few years. See you guys later. And you'll be like, this is too easy.
He can't keep getting away with this.
Getting away with this.
Crime piece, baby. This is our arc. This is how we finally make it.
Yeah, this is how we enter crime. We've decided, we're just going to rob Will.
From me.
We're just going to steal from Will.
Oh my gosh. If you've got a crypto question, a suggestion, a good joke, a word of wisdom, or a prediction for what's going to happen, let us know. We had folks talking about TA in the comments, asking what our target for Sol was. And I said, I don't know, just higher, maybe lower. If you've got something, though, we want to hear from you.
Depends how long we're talking here, because
that's right.
I mean, it is fun. I never do like price predictions and speculations as much as I like guessing in my head, just because it's irresponsible. And then someone's gonna be like, oh, he's on the internet. This is definitely true. And I don't want my dumbass guessing ramblings being taken by anybody as like noteworthy things that you should like build a financial plan on. I don't know. I mean, do you have any of those like just silly numbers in your head that you're like, there's no reason why it shouldn't be, whatever? Because in my head, it's always comparative. And I'm sitting over here just consistently thinking that every single day I have ever looked at it, Solana as a chain and as an ecosystem of apps makes more daily revenue than Ethereum every single day for as long as I can remember ever checking it. I'm like, there is no reason this thing should be worth value-wise, like total, less than Ethereum is. Mm-hmm. So that's my silly number, that like it makes no sense that this thing is not worth the same amount that the Ethereum ecosystem is worth. Yeah,
to me, it's not. It's I'm piggybacking off of what you said, and specifically for Solana and like its value, because the huge topic has been Ethereum lately and the ETF inflows and the institutional adoption, right? Mm-hmm. That's all on Ethereum. There's talks, and you can see the tea leaves lining up for Solana as well. And it's going to have its time with the institutions too. But right now it's Ethereum in the spotlight, has been for like, I don't know, 3 weeks now, a month. Anyway. For sure. Last week on Thursday night, I posted how, hey, everyone's talking about Ethereum. But the 6 of the top 10 best performing cryptocurrencies of the top 100 by market cap, Solana and Solana altcoins, right? Very true. And so with all of the institutional adoption here, for coming in for Ethereum, guess what? The people use Solana. And you know, it was gambling and meme coins that brought a lot of them there, but there's also a huge thriving DeFi ecosystem there, of course. You know, there's a whole bunch of good things going on outside of just memes and speculation for Solana, just like Ethereum, right? But the thing is the people are there. The culture is there. The people who are on chain are using Solana more than they're using Ethereum, right? It seems to definitely be that case. And so that's one of the reasons why Solana altcoins were the top performing altcoins out of all of the ecosystems last week, because the people are there. So when the market pops up, and Solana specifically pops up and stays up like it has been, you have the Solana altcoins do better than the Ethereum altcoins. And so I found that to be interesting, because I was expecting to see your Aerodrome in the top 10, your Morpho, your maybe throw in Aave, or, you know, I don't know, pick an Ethereum-based altcoin, but it was Solana still on top. And I was like, oh, that's interesting, probably because the people are on Solana.
I want to do this. I want to play a little game.
Hold on. I have to, before we play the game, I have to correct something, because I just went on this whole big, God damn it, internet. I went on this whole big rant about how Solana has had more daily app revenue than Ethereum for as long as I can remember. And I'm like, I'm going to pull it up and prove my point right now. And today is the day that Ethereum has just smoked it, dude. Guess how hardcore Ethereum's 24-hour app revenue has. I like this. This is my rabbit hole for today, because I got to figure out what it was that did this. The monthly is still like, not, you know, it's millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars in Solana's favor. But so for context, Solana's daily app revenue, which is also up, is $4.5 million right now. Guess what Ethereum's is?
12 million.
12.
Damn.
12.36.
Wow.
I have like.
He's got to retire from the game.
I was going to tell Podcast Land about that, but you know what? I think they're better off not knowing. Sorry, Podcast Land. I literally, first of all, I've never
it's definitely it's World Liberty Financial, probably.
It's got it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Duh.
Okay. Yeah, it's on Ethereum.
Duh. Man, what a difference.
It's got to be.
That's an increase of over $10 million in a day. So I guess what we'll see is sustainability.
Yeah, sustainability.
Well, and let me just give some context to those numbers. Since we're going to play guessing games, do you want to guess what the 24-hour volume was for World Liberty Financial derivatives on, let's just say Binance. Binance saw nearly half of the World Liberty Financial pre-market trading volume in the last day. And it's higher than number 2, OKX, who had 607 million, and BitGet, number 3, that had 428 million. So
it's funny how many of those are things that people in the United States don't have access to. And this is like allegedly the American play. It's
right.
This is proof that none of this bullshit matters. This is so stupid.
So any guesses?
So you said Binance has half.
Binance has half, and it's in first place ahead of OKX. OKX had 607 million.
Yeah, it's 1.7 billion.
Alex?
Yeah, I was going to, I mean, billions for sure. Like prices right, 2 billion.
Will again. 1.52 billion. So
I won't celebrate as thoroughly because I wasn't directly spot on. But
yeah,
you know,
but it was. I mean, it's been gangbusters, the volume here. If the market cap, like the price holds, then it could have a fully diluted value. You know, I haven't checked the chart since we did it at the start of the show, but if it holds the pre-market prices, it's going to have a fully diluted value of over $31 billion, which would mean that it would have like an FDV as high as Sui, Dogecoin, Tron. It'd be like a solid 15-ish on the top tokens by market cap. It would be up there.
It's an interesting thing too, just because the valuation of this is 100% driven by pure speculation, basically based on name.
I would say at this moment in time, yeah, but there's some money there, and there's money
there, but why is there money there?
Tokens. Well, there's money there because they've bought. They have invested and grown money. And of course, you're right. The reputation of the Trump family and like their presence in the world stage is the biggest part of it.
Mm-hmm.
But it has translated to like real assets and a tangible bank account. I don't know. I would say don't sleep on World Liberty Financial.
Yeah, I would agree.
I think it's overvalued or it needs to discover its price, but I wouldn't sleep on it.
I'm not saying sleep on it. I'm just saying it's bullshit.
I told a dear friend who was an accredited investor when they were asking me about it. They were like, should I do it? I was like, are you kidding me? I was like, if I had the opportunity, I said, I get the skepticism, but if I had the opportunity to buy into this presale at 5 cents a token, $1, a penny a token,
totally.
like,
It would be a no-brainer.
Max it out, baby. This is going to be a great play. And I think it is. I hope wherever you are, friend, I hope you're selling today. Okay, 2 more guessing games that I want to play with you guys. And these are long-term guessing games, so I'm going to write everybody's answer down, and we'll have to revisit these in the future because we had several subsequent questions about, okay, Solana's looking bullish, so what's your target? What's your target? What's your target? I would like to revisit next Monday. And whoever gets the closest to Solana's actual price on Monday wins, at least some canned applause and maybe something juicier. So, gentlemen, do you want to give me your Solana target? And friends in the audience, do you want to give me your Solana target for next Monday? And a reminder,
For next Monday,
a week from today, Will showed us the chart already, but just in case you need to see it again, he doesn't have all the TA indicators up on this one. Podcast land, basically, it looks like a roller coaster that came off of a nice high peak around the this is the yearly chart that I'm showing. Around 255, 260, and we've had a dip, and now we're kind of making our way back up.
Next Monday.
In the comments, for context, we've got 220, 180. Wow, bearish. 218, 184. I don't know. Will, you're on fire today. Joe says 203.
Steckler said 167, and I said, don't tease me.
Apple user said easy 310. That's pretty bullish.
$1 million.
$1 million.
$209, 400. I don't know. I was gonna say I'm gonna make it easy for you guys. I'm gonna say 215. That's my guess.
I was gonna say 214, but I'm feeling like it's, and I'm not trying to prices right you.
We are playing Price is Right rules though.
Of course, naturally. Evan, did you write down every single one of the audience guesses? Because I've seen about 40.
Nope.
Right?
You just got to tell me I told you so when you come back to hear it. I'm writing your guess.
Evan's rigging the game. The same rules that apply to the points on After Dark apply to this one.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, if Jill comes back and tells me, I know she's going to tell me true, 203, or whoever had 400, maybe they'll have to fudge it a little, but I'll accept that. I will accept that fudgery.
I'm going to try to manifest what I want. My actual guess is going to be 190. 190.
Wow, Alex is bearish too.
I bet it is
that's
almost
not bearish, though.
I bet it is almost exactly the same as it is today. Somewhere between 200 and 202.
Okay, but you got to pick one number. You want me to go 201 and split the difference?
No. I will choose $203.17.
203.
Evan, what time? Are we doing this like at kickoff? So at 8 a.m. on Monday?
I will reserve the right to decide.
Of course. What did I tell you? It's
probably
this is
shit's
bullshit.
rigged.
No, it is 9:08.
I'm gonna call the white whale and be like,
September
buy, sell.
9:08.
Okay, yeah. Exactly when we
September 8th.
Okay.
At 9:08. Oh my god.
9:08 a.m.
On the 8th. That's
unless
actually
Evan's losing, because then
Unless Evan's losing, in which case we'll do it earlier or later.
9:08 on 9:08. That's really very poetic and perfect. Unless I'm losing. Okay, and then the second guessing game, because I want you to have another one too, is I love this question. AMSO made a point earlier today that they didn't think the party was over yet because we really hadn't done big numbers in terms of crypto market cap. We have set an all-time high, but just barely. And it really depends on where you were looking. So my question is, if we're feeling bullish still, what is our target for the end of this cycle, the peak all-time high for total crypto market cap? And for people who are playing along, who need a little refresher, the current total market cap is sitting at about 3.89 trillion. Fact check me on that, but I think it's correct. Let's go to the Gecko and just get a number. I'm playing CoinGecko rules. Yeah, 3.86 trillion. And the all-time high, somebody fact check me on this too. What did we hit? Like 4.3 trillion a couple weeks ago? 4.3? Somebody help me out with that. But that is the other guessing game, and we will not be able to call that one. And I'm writing it on the same piece of paper. Market cap targets. Let me know your total crypto market cap target. Are you bullish? Are you bearish before the end of the cycle? We've got Red Bull says 7 to 8 trillion. 8.5 trillion, Caveman says. 10 trillion. You go. Interesting. And Alex and Will, a reminder, these are prices right rules.
What are the
price wrong?
What are the parameters on the time frame here? Because this
I'm gonna have to put this on my desk and come back to it later when a stroke of brilliance reminds me that we did it. This is, we're not going to know until it's the bear market again. This will be a time capsule guess. So we got to make it really worth it. I'm going to bet $1,000 of Will's USDC on this bet.
I will up that by 1,000 more Will dollars.
Guys, I don't think this partnership's working out anymore.
Shut up, Will.
Quiet bank.
Shut up, Will.
Listen, Paula's Choice, if you ever want Will to smile again, I'm going to need you to put it on the back of a $20,000 check and send it to
me personally.
I bet at the
so hard.
At the top of a cycle, it's just so hard. I mean, I see a real big rejection at 5.5 trillion. I see a real big rejection happening at 8.3 trillion. I see a real big rejection happening at 11.2 trillion. So it's just where in there
are we just making shit up right now?
No, I think he's got a chart pulled up. You want to screen share it real quick? Because I'd be curious to see what the lines look like. And
nope, my secrets. You have to follow me and like all my stuff. Hit the bell icon, subscribe, join our community circle, subscribe to my $3 a month subscription on TikTok. And also
guys, don't worry about any of that. I'll give you his home address.
Oh, God. Anyway, sharing my screen.
Also, Amstar said, if we're betting with Will's money, then I say 80 trillion.
80 trillion. Oh, no.
Yeah, guys, every bet on the Rise Up Morning Show is with Will's money, so please feel free to be extra.
I mean, the last giveaway was my money.
Can we make a fun merch item?
You did that yourself, though. You can't put that on us.
Yeah, no, I was happy to do it.
Monopoly money merch in different colors that's just says money or
yes.
Schmillion Schmatzen. Oh wait, that's
what I mean. That would be really great with different pictures of Will, and the blue one that's $5 has him in a dolphin suit.
Yeah, we need to print Shroot bucks, but
I would absolutely love
Monopoly dollars.
That would be fantastic.
I'm writing this down on my to-do list.
Dolphin dollars.
This is little ladybug pen.
With my little ladybug pen.
Guys, just for the record, this is why people call this a fake radio show, because what is this?
We're having a good time, guys. We're having a good time. So yeah, I'm just using the trend-based Fibonacci extension tool. It's the tool that you use when you want to find points of resistance and support when you don't have previous price action. So it's like when you're making new all-time highs.
Will, how do you know where to draw that?
Yeah, that's a good question. So let's come over here. If you come over here, trend-based fib extension tool, that's what it's called. What you do is you measure the bottom to the top of the last big move that you had that, was like in this case, we're trying to find, new all-time highs and stuff. So,
and you're doing this on TradingView, right?
Doing this on TradingView. So you go from the bottom of the last move to the top of the last move, and then you drag it down to where the bottom of the bear market was, or the bottom of the bear move. Then you get all these points, right? So we just did that, and hey, look at this.
Isn't it crazy how that shit lines up? Look at that.
It lines up because, the algorithms and the bots just make it work. Because, hey, look.
That's true.
resistance and support here, support here, support and resistance here, support here, general support and support here, general support here. Like, it just kind of works out. It's not an exact science, but, it gives you a good rule of thumb. So, and we're looking at the total market cap of crypto. So now we have our next major areas of resistance. And hey, look, the total market cap of crypto is actually finding support on a line that we're trying to hold above as well. And now, and hey, guess what?
That's interesting.
Another reason why I'm like, it doesn't feel like the top yet because of this.
I think my guess was going to be 5.8, which looks like it's kind of close to one of those that first blue line, maybe a little bit under.
Yeah, let's see. 5. I forget if I click it. Well, yeah. So it is $5.4 trillion.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with my gut and say 5.8.
Yeah, 5.8. So you're right here. You know what? I can just
put a
be
dot.
the keeper of truth. That's Alex. Evan, what were you?
Actually, I need to do some pencil and paper math really quick. Can you tell us yours?
Now that you have more data, you're gonna change up your answer.
No. I had been meaning to do this. I just was, first I was yucking it up with you guys.
No. I was meaning to do this. I need you to guess first, Will.
Yeah. I mean, I'm
last time. Okay.
I'm gonna go right here with 5.4 trillion because to me there is no cycle anymore. So I think you get up to about $5.5 trillion. So I'll do mine at 5.5.
You son of a bitch.
Okay, so Alex, you had what?
I said 5.8.
Yeah.
And you had 5.5.
Yeah.
Oh man, here's the temptation, friends.
If you split the difference, I swear to God.
No, the temptation is to go 5.3999999 because we're playing Price is Right rules, and that gives me the biggest surface area. Or to go 5.800000001. And the question is, am I bullish or bearish? Because honestly, I'm feeling bullish. I'm going to say 5.8000001. That puts me above Alex, right?
Yeah, I'm just gonna
I'm on my way to your house.
Click me above Alex somewhere, and I will remember that I was, Alex. I'm gonna write Alex +1. 5.8, 5.4.
Wiener.
And this is a lot more conservative. I could see plenty of scenarios where it goes just like you said, to 7, to 9, to 11.2 or whatever. But I'm just trying to win a bet here, people. Alex.
Me too, Evan. What do you think I'm doing this for? Fun?
You really screwed it up by letting me go last.
You really screwed it up.
You sucker.
Got it.
You loser. Yeah, because what I think is going to happen is you're going to have us for total market cap run up to this resistance here at 5.4 trillion. And then you're going to have a decent sized correction. And everyone's going to be like, it's the top.
You're a loser.
And you're a loser. And then that's going to be our top. But then because it's an ETF driven market now, it's going to actually just be a really short bear market. And then
see, my speculation would be that whatever the top would be would happen when JPOW leaves and some absolute ninny gets installed who just cuts rates into oblivion, and then everything explodes and then everything craters.
Yeah.
Wild.
Fun.
It was fun. And we will see who wins. Now, it is about that time, ladies and gentlemen, monsters and machines, people and creatures of all ages.
How about giving us some fucking credit?
Where we ride our dogs and ponies into the sunset. I don't know. I just felt like that was fun. All the fake radio show talk. I just wanted to let people know we're here. If you've got a final thought, a question, a suggestion, a good joke, a word of wisdom, and we don't get to it, then let me remind you the very best place for it is RUMS, RUMSHQ.com. You can find the link to all of our social channels and the link to the Rise Up community. It's totally free to join. The only thing missing is you. We have got so many good forums there, side conversations, question and answer. We've got live events there. We've got classes, including people always ask how I can learn to read charts like Will. Well, did you know you can find Will's Intro to Technical Analysis course in the community through the Rise Up Morning Show website. Just remember rumshq.com. And then if you remember nothing else, come back and see us. We're live Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m. Central Standard Time. And we'll be live in about 11 hours for the Rise Up Market Watch. Remember, our friend Danielle is coming. She is going to be with us. Crypto Crush is the handle you might know her by, to talk about the markets, talk about creating content, educational focused on Instagram after getting thrown off of TikTok. So, guys, I
Twice.
actually have twice. I forgot. Oh my gosh.
She's like, fuck TikTok, dude. I'm trying to get her hooked up with the same media company that Evan is with you and I, and helped me out get my account back. So if she wants to make another debut on TikTok, she can hopefully do it with some staying power.
I hope so.
Friends helping friends.
Friends helping friends. Now, while everybody gets their words together, we do have a couple of questions in the comments. Apple user says, please talk about Hyperliquid. Alex, I saw you responded.
I did.
Beef.
What do you say to him?
I didn't say anything about Hyperliquid.
Oh, maybe you responded to a different Apple user.
I didn't.
Well, there we go. Sorry. What do you think about Hyperliquid? I think it is a token and a marketplace and a protocol to watch. I don't have a position in it. I would like to establish one. I have too many positions open right now, but they are breaking all kinds of records for like volume, for you name it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very impressive.
I'm a big fan. They are consistently top 5 in revenue. And in a world where that is a rare metric that we get to measure in crypto, I'm a big fan of this. And I don't know. I honestly, it's one that I don't have exposure to, not because I'm not into it, but because it's kind of hard to get. I shouldn't say hard to get. The process is obnoxious to get it. And I don't know. I just have exposure to other places, and I can't manage another position right now. But I'm a huge fan. I think it's extremely interesting, especially considering that consistently they're at the top of the revenue charts as an ecosystem.
Yep. Okay.
I don't have anything else to add to it. Their buyback and burn is awesome. They have a ton of people and users on it, generating a ton of fees. Portion of those fees go back to buy the hype token. Hype token is burned, helps increase the price of hype, which increases the notoriety and marketing of it, which makes more people learning about hype, which gets more people on hype using it, which generates more fees, which creates more burns, which gets the price higher, which gets more people to know about hype, which gets more people using hype, which increases the fees. Yeah. So circle.
Just to save everyone some time, if there's the question, so a question came in, thoughts on SWI. Here's how I would answer. If you ever want to know what my thoughts on literally anything are, just go to DeFi Llama and sort it by revenue, and then look at the number, and that will tell you how convicted I am in whatever the thing is. Because I don't enjoy at this point doing a whole lot of like rampant speculation on just guessing based on nothing measurable, and revenue is measurable. So SWI is in spot number 9, but the drop off in what constitutes like good daily revenue after spot 5 is huge. So for context, in spot number 5 is the Binance Smart Chain with just over $500,000 of revenue today, or in the last 24 hours, I should say. Spot 6 is Avalanche with 115, and SWI is in spot 9 with 86,000. And like we said, Ethereum's today is 12.3. Solana in second place at 4.4. Hyperliquid in spot 3 at 1.7. So, SWI is cool. They don't really make much money. Their whole brand seems to be like better Solana, and yet they're not even doing 1% of the volume Solana's doing. So
yeah, I mean, shit, when you put it like that.
We had a friend ask about how Casey is doing. P.S. How has she been? And she has been killing it. We had a call with her and Nathan, her co-founder at Euphoria recently. She has been working really hard to bring that product to market. And we told her, Casey, you got to come back on the show. She said, I've been meaning to pay more attention to TikTok. I want to come back. She's feeling a little nervous about it, I think. I think she feels like she's been gone for too long. So if you see her around, let her know we missed her. And then let her know you want to see her back on the show, because we'd really love to host her. She's the best. Do you guys have, Alex, that sounded like it might have been a final thought, but if you've got another one.
Mm-hmm. Nope.
Will, have you got another one?
Nothing new. Market watch tonight. 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We'll have Danielle on from Crypto Crush, so get her take on the markets and stuff. And then, Doug and I will start diving into charts as always. And, past the interview, we'll just be hanging and chatting. Probably last about half hour, 45 minutes or so. And then we'll do another half hour or so of charting. And, if Danielle wants to stay and do some charting with us too. She's not a big charter. It's not really her forte for content, but she definitely does some of it. I'd be curious to get her take on the markets and stuff. And that'll be it. So we'll be hanging tonight. Come vibe.
Nice. Beautiful. Then I'm going to take
I'm going to rug
Oh,
you.
you got it? Go ahead.
There was a question from Apple user just on how to see the revenue stuff. That was
Great
my
question.
final thought. So I'm going to screen share really quick. It's very easy. All you got to do is go to DeFiLlama.com, DeFi Llama, like the animal. And over on the side, stalling for effect while Evan flips the camera. There we go. This is the homepage, DeFiLlama.com. Go over here to the little bar menu over on the side, hit metrics. And then there's a top nav bar here. You can hit fees and revenue. It's the 5th button, which will scroll you down. The final category inside of this is app revenue by chain, which is the one that I look at specifically, just because not every chain is set up to make a ton of chain revenue, and ecosystems bringing in users and doing volume based on the demand of the app, how good the app is at whatever it's supposed to do, is the one that I care about more. But you can look at chain revenue as well. Click on that and you'll get a rankings list with the name of the protocol, the app revenue in the last 24 hours, which resets every day at midnight UTC. And then there's also a 30-day. And you can also download a CSV if you wanted to send it to GPT and get some analysis or something on it. So there you go.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I have one more thing that I'll mention just on the live show is, if some of you have been following me on Twitter or in the Circle community, saw the TikTok or Instagram post I made when I accidentally became did so well in Pudgy Penguin, or the Pudgy Penguin game. And I was like, we'll make this a campaign to get Luca's attention.
What do you mean accidentally? Your superior skill and prowess on the battlefield is what led you to the #1 spot.
Yes. And then I started grinding. And then I'm just #2. But I think they have just certain, I don't think I'm #2 globally. I think they have a system where they have a bunch of just smaller ranks. They have you competing against smaller pools of people is what I suspect. So there are more people who win, and it gets people hyped more, and then they keep playing more. It would make sense.
We could ask them. Good question for them.
Yeah, we'll ask them a big good question, because it would be a really good, smart thing to do for a mobile game. Because genuinely, this isn't what I was going to say. It's actually really fun. It's like if you played Fall, it's 85% Fall Guys and 15% Mario Kart 64 versus battle mode.
Cool.
With a little dusting of seasoning of Mario Party on top. And it's actually I started playing because it was just really fun. Anyway, so that's dope. But what I was going to say is Luca then followed me on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. And I was like, oh, we're almost there. And so I kept grinding and made a few more posts and sent a DM to Luca. He replied. He was like, hey, man, yeah, reach out to this person. So, got the contact info. And, so I sent his person an email. It's a long weekend and something. And they were busy definitely with the NASCAR race last night. So I'm not sure if we have a reply back, but hopefully we get a reply back. I'll keep following up, and we can get Luca scheduled with, his person, and then we can get Luca on the show. So we have another hurdle. Sometimes you get to that person, and then things still fall apart, but we're one step closer. So we'll see.
I am a big fan of this.
Wow, that was way louder than I intended it to be. But
I'm going to rug Evan one more time to answer one more question. You know how many times you rugged me the other day? This is your comeuppance, bub.
I will absolutely die.
Comeuppance.
So the question was, how can we get better at using ChatGPT? So first of all, happy to help workshop, fix prompts, do all that kind of stuff. The best place would be to join the circle. It's free. The links are in all of the bios, rumshq.com. However, the best thing you can do, if just by yourself, you don't want to join anything, understand that nothing is better at prompting GPT than GPT itself. So if you're struggling to come up with the best way to prompt it to do something, just ask it, if you were going to prompt AI to build a personal assistant to help me organize my time, or something to help me organize my shopping list or my recipes or whatever it is that you're trying to use it for, just ask it in as descriptive language as possible how it would prompt itself to do that, and it will design a prompt for you. You can literally copy paste the whole prompt and send it right back to it and prompt a new thread. That's the best way to do it.
I'm going to rug Evan one more time.
Yes.
Go for it.
Because there's a question here by a user over on YouTube that said, hey, just curious, how did you find the Moxie indicator? Did you make it yourself? No. I actually found it from someone else in our community. Shout out to Ryan Lucero in Circle. He's created a very profitable trading strategy. He's a real good guy to chat with in our technical analysis section of our Circle community. Super knowledgeable. Has taken he's paid for like a bunch of courses and like combined it and made his own like strategy. It's really, really cool. And he put me on to Simpler Trading. That is Simpler Trading. They're a company specifically focused on like stock trading, and they made a bunch of indicators. One of them is the Moxie, and he was taking me through it. So he got me in contact with his, contact at Simpler Trading, and I just bought the indicator from them, which all of you can do. And I bought a couple other indicators. So if you go to Simpler Trading, you can buy a handful of indicators for about $500, and then they add it onto your TradingView account, and then you get access to it. So that's it. And I've found it to be just like a much more useful MACD indicator, if you're familiar with that on TradingView.
Nice. Okay, no more rugs. I'm rug proof. I will tell you that if you want to learn how to set up your AI agent, or you're not sure where to go to get that TA course from Will, or to join the community, this is what rumshq.com looks like. It's so simple and easy. There's the button to join the community for the people in podcast land. It's right at the top when you get to our website. And if you open the menu and go to classes and digital downloads, you can see Will's technical analysis course, along with a variety of other courses like the Coinly overview to help you with crypto taxes. And keep scrolling to see how to train your own AI crypto research assistant. Alex wrote that for us. He's got a lot of other good stuff there too. So much good stuff on the website, at the community. The only thing missing, my friends, really is you. And now the moment you've all been waiting for. My final thought today comes by way of our friend Wall Street 55, who sent me an email list of, count them, 100 good jokes. Don't worry, guys. I'm only going to read a few. So here we go. Will, Alex, I used to hate facial hair, but then it grew on me. Why are frogs so happy? Do you know? Because they eat whatever bugs them. What did the 0 say to the 8? Hey, nice belt. All right.
That was my favorite one.
One more. What is a lawyer's favorite drink? A subpoena colada. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. We got to go. Thank you for being the very best part of what we do. And if you can't get enough Rise Up, then you know where to go. You know what to do. We will see you back here bright and early tomorrow after we catch you for Rise Up Market Watch later tonight. Thank you, my friends. Until next time, everybody stay safe, be well, rise up.
I like how unhappy Alex and I look.